Hey guys, this is going to Carrie here with another Exos Heroes video. And in today's video, I want to talk about the 3 new characters here and whether or not they're worth pulling for, because they opened it up with a new banner for a general character, which is awesome. These are the kind of banners that you really want to go for, but how good is Carrie before we get into that? So let's go over all the kits and then I'll talk about whether or not we should pull for this particular character. And so first of all, she's a mana utilization character. That's a good sign because mana utilization characters have really high attack, which is good because most of these general characters usually have some kind of, they need to have the highest stat in something to actually apply their passives. And it's going to be really easy or relatively easy to do this, but she doesn't have a fake core and she doesn't have a core memory. So these are drawbacks currently for her, but we know eventually both of those things are going to come through. It's just, we just don't know how much time that's actually going to take. So I feel like she, regardless of if you get her or not, she's definitely going to be an investment style character instead of really good right now. Okay, so mana utilization 3 and flow of mana, so background allies gain 1 mana, that's awesome. And then Bramble afflicts target with less attack than self with Bramble mark at the start of battle and decreases health regeneration of all enemies by 20% for each Bramble mark on all enemies. Okay, and then decreases health of target by 3% for 10 turns when the target has Bramble mark, can be stacked. So already we're seeing a character that's really trying to stop regeneration and stop healing. Because currently at the moment, really the only character that does it is Ramj, and he's super popular. He's definitely countering the meta currently with Dorka. We have Talia and Tantalo really taking over the meta, so Carrie could be a way of stopping that. Her A1 here deals 95% damage to all enemies, afflicts target with nullify heal for 14 turns, can't be removed, so very similar to Ramj there. And then lastly has a burst, 4 mana, deals 750% damage to one enemy, so this massive nuke at the end here with her skills. So this character already seems very targeted for this meta. I really like the single target burst. I really like the nullify heal, and then the Bramble mark is going to be really good, if not good now, because we can't really boost her attack all the way up because no fake core and no core memory, but in the future that's definitely going to come through. So her being a mana utilization 3 character is really good for what her passive is trying to do. Overall, just this kit alone, I think, is worth pulling for. And then the thing that's nice thing that it's a hero chance up is going for this, you absolutely need to go to pity, in my opinion. I wouldn't bother pulling if you're not, normally I say that, but in this case scenario, we're not trying to just get one. We're trying to get literally as many as possible. Yeah, and ideally the number you're shooting for is 3. I know that's not going to be realistic probably because the chances are low, but at the same time, this is our chance to really go for this character. If you're trying to pull for, if you're really sold on Carrie as a character, this is going to be the time to really pull for it. If you're new to the game and you don't really have any generals that you've invested in, this is actually a really good time to, if you have a ton of Zas, to really double down on a faction. Because I think not only is it countering the meta, I think it's a good investment when the fake core comes through. You'll be able to pull again for the fake core for her, and you'll be able to really stack up that signature force. Because the big thing is it's really not about which generals you have, it's more about which generals have signature force to really start to push PvP. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this character here. And that's not even getting into John Donk and also, I forget her name, but we're going to go over those kits as well, because I think that's important to really get an idea of just how good Carrie is. Because how the meta is going with signature force is it's not necessarily just the general. You want to have teams of 3, and these smaller factions don't really have the support characters to, or the other characters around them to really boost them up, except for the other generals or the other faded characters that are not generals. But what I wanted to show, because eventually all of this is going to come through, that's why at the beginning I'm saying that this is definitely an investment, is this effect. Where is it? So first of all, this effect here, the 15% to when you have 2 of them, and then this one all the way up here, this one's going to be not going to be released for quite a while for this faction, but the 30% attack, defense, and HP, because obviously having 30% increase is really good, but it's actually, you get the 15%. It's not just 15% boosted to 30%, it's 15% as one effect. Then you get an additional 30% as another effect. So it's a crazy boost. So having teams of a faction is incredibly important to really get the most out of each faction. So maybe this will be a faction of just 2, so you'll get the 15%, and then you're going to build it around a team of 3 when the meta develops. But you're definitely going to need Carrie. You're going to need a ton of copies of Carrie. So definitely keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go to the journal here and take a look at the other characters. So first, Nimorous here. We have another manization character. And then increases the attack of all allies by 11% of own attack for 6 turns. Increases critical hit of all allies by 15 for 12 turns. 1 mana move there. Not really a fan of that move. And then lastly, a 2 of a massive single target burst. Decreases block value of target by 50% when the target has Bramble Mark. So I wonder if that applies before the hit. I think it really matters, being able to reduce the block value. This faction seems really targeted at the Greenland faction and being able to take them out. So if you're looking for the meta counter, yes, it's going to take a ton of resources and you're going to have to really pull for them, but it might actually counter the meta here. If you're already super invested in the meta, it's going to take a long time or a lot of resources for people to really build this up. So I don't think it's worth pivoting, but it's definitely worth considering if you're kind of on the fence of where you don't really have a dedicated faction you're super invested into. And then John Donk over here, yeah, a thrust character. I was kind of hoping they would have something on their passive besides just this basic. It almost seems like they're really going to pitch the fake cores for these guys, because both of them are just, boom, here's the passive. They're faded characters with that. Like, that's not normal, right? For this level, I guess that's kind of normal. So then increases on defense by 88% for 8 turns. Deals 255% damage to all enemies. Deals additional damage equal to 200% of own defense to enemy with Bramble Mark. So I feel like he can hit really hard. This would be crazy, especially if you have him really invested into when you have him with this unlocked. You get the extra defense here. Could actually be kind of scary. I think he's going to need a fake core to really... He needs some other passive here for this really to be effective. Maybe this will be a team of 2 at the moment with Carrie and John Donk, because at the moment, FC Tantalo, FC Talia, all these characters just seem so much better that even if you're directly countering what they kind of do, I don't think it's going to be enough to really combat them at the moment. So I definitely think this is going to be... You're playing the long con here if you're going to pull. Definitely playing the long con. It's usually always worth it to pull a general. I don't think I've ever regretted pulling on a general banner. Ideally, the best value is going to be a general banner with the fake core. This is one where you don't get the fake core, but still, I still think it's worth pulling. Definitely, because it's not so meta defining right now. I don't think it's like a must pull, but definitely I would say it's smart to do if you have the zest for it. Well, that's going to be it for this video. A ton of content coming your way in Exos Heroes due to the new patch. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. With that, guys, I am out. Peace.